this is Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling. Platinum versus WWE Wrestlemania Backlash. Did I get all that right? Did I say all that right? Certainly hope I did. Well, it is from April 16th, 2021. Let me just establish that date just to make sure we have this thing right. Getting Batista to do the voiceover in the beginning with the importance of championships, I thought was a great way to begin. Of course, I'm going to talk about a lot of the stuff that didn't work, but from a booking perspective, from a production perspective, I had a couple of revelations tonight, and I want to bring those up too, and they're mostly very positive, right? And something that other bookers and promotions can learn from, up to and including AEW. Batista voicing over that Backlash thing was really great. And then their ham-handed attempt to promote his movie, which was stupid. I'm not going to say the zombie thing wasn't dumb. It was stupid. But the fact that they're trying to do some kind of crossover thing is amazing, because they basically pretended Batista didn't do shit in the movie industry when they could have, especially when he was red hot. They could have got in on that Marvel stuff right off the jump. They could have, at one point, Batista was putting out a number of movies that were basically star vehicles for him, and they didn't support any of those. But now they're supporting some straight-to-Netflix movie. It's very odd, but also an indication of the WWE is slow to learn, but occasionally they do learn. Right? So we're going to have 6 matches, a lumberjack match, and 5 title matches. Ain't bad, folks. That's pretty solid for a B-C-list pay-per-view. Only 1 title change, but it was the right one, most certainly. We opened with Rhea Ripley defending her title against Asuka and Charlotte. I jokingly put on Twitter and Facebook, like, what's the over-under on how many times we're going to hear that the champion can lose their title without being the one who's pinned? I said the over-under was 8, and it ended up being 9 total. So Vegas, come at me, bro. Come at me. So at the end of this, people were talking about this match was good, and it was. Don't get me wrong, though it was a foregone conclusion that Asuka would be the one that takes the fall. But the finish, here's my question, and it's these small things that maybe a lot of people don't notice at first, but they pile up if you're not careful. So the finish is Charlotte's on the apron, Asuka gets booted by Charlotte in the face, then gets picked up and dropped in Rhea's finisher and pinned. Why didn't Charlotte break up the pin? We never know, because of the way they do the camera work. We don't see Charlotte at all. And so I'm expecting her to come barreling into the frame and break up the pin. This makes sense. But instead, she just apparently watches the pin happen? None of it makes sense. And it spoils what was otherwise a really good a really good match. But Rhea retains, as one would expect. We got a Braun video showing how much he kicked ass, so much. So you know that motherfucker's getting pinned. They show earlier tonight when Rude and Ziggler beat up Dominic. So now we have that second match. Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, the bad dogs, against Rey Mysterio for almost the whole match until Dominic came in. I did love how they worked this psychology, though, where Rey didn't want Dominic to get in. Dominic did get in, eventually tags his dad back. And at the end, the dad basically has to overcome his own fear and show faith in his injured kid, who comes through and delivers a really shitty splash that they had to really sell. That was a really great splash, but it worked. They got the win. I thought that was a feel-good moment. And it was nice that they got interviewed afterwards without somebody spoiling the interview. It was nice that they just let a moment happen. WWE often does not do that. And so they deserve credit when they do. It was the right time to just let Rey Mysterio and Dominic have a very sweet and nice moment, since we weren't going to get many after this, right? We have a commercial for Army of the Dead, and then the zombies walk in. And then we have a segment with Jimmy and Jay Uso, and then the zombies. And then we talk about the next pay-per-view. We talk about Hell in the Cell, and then we talk about Jimmy and Jay again. And then we have Miz. In his match, this lumberjack match with the fucking zombies. And they did spot. Okay, this is going to sound insane that I'm defending this. I'm not defending it, but it is what it is. And if you're going to do something, you got to do it well. And I will say that they had a number of great spots with the zombies where they had to fight back to back to fight the zombies off. It was stupid. They got the zombie tropes in. Morrison came out. That was stupid too. And at the end of the day, Miz got pinned and he lost. And then they both got attacked by. That's what should happen to the heels. You should get attacked by the zombies. So it's terrible. But did they at least play the zombie tropes right? I guess. And yeah. The match, fourth match, Bayley against Bianca Belair. It's the match that it should have been. It's the match that you could have easily predicted. I thought they were making so much about what an inspiration Bianca was. I'm like, they're not going to have her lose, would they? That's stupid. But it was what it should have been, which was a match where Bianca looked dominant. Bayley had her moment, but then Bianca overcame, outsmarted Bayley, used her hair to get that roll up and the pin. We had a commercial for, it was a good match. Bianca, though, she's getting a good benefit in that she won the title from Sasha, who was able to really elevate her game, Bianca's game. And Bayley was able to cover Bianca's shortcomings. Bianca's shortcomings, they're certainly not physical, but they're timing based. And Bayley was good at sort of making up for the timing errors of Bianca. And Bianca looks very formidable. She's got the whole look. She's got the flash, all that stuff. That's great. Commercial for Peacock. Weird. A thing for RVD's thing. And then we had Drew against Braun and Lashley. This match was what you would expect it to be. A lot of big stuff and tables breaking and all that. At the end of the day, the finish looked a little odd. Lashley hitting a spear on Braun and getting the pin. But it is what it is. It does show this glaring problem that they have of who can challenge Lashley. I guess it's going to be Drew again, because Drew got the biggest pyro of anybody the whole night. So pyro equals star power. Another commercial, Hell in the Cell, the setup to Roman and Cesaro, and then that match, which was phenomenal. Roman winning clean with a guillotine. Eventually, they really struggled over it, and then for Cesaro to eventually lose to it, I thought it's one of these finishes that helps them set up matches in the future, because you never see this kind of finish, especially in a big match. And now they've done it, where he actually had to fight to get that submission again and again and again, and eventually it won him over. Jay beats him in this horrific moment, and then Seth shows up and kind of tweaks your imagination. Is he going to turn on Roman? Wow. And then nope, he just lays into Cesaro, really beats Cesaro down, busts up his arm, and all that stuff. And this is one of these glaring problems, and these things I hate about WWE. What were the other baby faces doing while Cesaro is getting murdered? Obviously, the other baby faces ain't shit. That's the message that they give us again and again and again. And we get it yet again. Shame on them for doing a show in Florida, the home of Eddie Graham, where you miss a detail like, why do the baby faces not help Cesaro? I think it makes them look weak. I think it makes them all look weak. Hell, we didn't even have officials come down to try to defend Cesaro. What the fuck? At least send the zombies down there.